Hello there, friends and followers. This is Q8Pilot, and this is X-Plane 11. Today we are going to be flying the Flight Factor A320 after it has received its Vulcan compatibility update, and we're going to be flying from Las Vegas, Nevada to San Francisco, California. The scenery that you're seeing here is the recently released Las Vegas, Nevada by FlyTampa. So without further ado, let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is we are going to bring up the control power unit here. And next we're going to start the batteries. Let's see here if I can get the... there we go. Battery 1. Battery 2. And we're going to start the external power. Alright, and we're going to set the nav to gears mode. There we go. All looks good here. Ground control is on. And we're going to turn on the nav lights. We go to fuel, call the fuel truck and passengers. Cargo. And we can set our fuel. Alright, so let's head over to Sim Toolkit Pro. And as you can see here, we need about 6361, so 64, we'll say 65, so 6,500 kilos worth of fuel. So we're going to set this to 6,500. Close enough. And for the passengers, we're just going to say 2/3 and set. And for cargo, about halfway through is sounds good to me. And we're going to set, and we're going to go ahead and remove now all the ground elements. All right, we can head over now back to the overhead panel, and we're going to turn on the fuel pumps, and cargo heat is turned on, and we're going to arm the emergency lights, turn on the non-smoking signs, and fasten seatbelt signs. We can perform our test here real quick, and here all fire tests check okay, everything is looking good. All right, we can now head over to, I need to change the order of these views. All right, so we can go to the MCDU now, and we're going to go to init, our initialization. We are today flying from Kilo Lima Alpha Sierra to Kilo Sierra Foxtrot Oscar. And we're going to stick that here. Return. Flight number today, we are Delta 2574. The cost index, according to SimBrief plan, is 5. And the final cruise altitude today is 36,000 feet. Right, 360, and that is set. IRS, line on reference, and everything's set here. We're going to head over to the fuel and just say wait request, and everything is set up for us here. Now we can go to the flight plan, and KLS, today we are going to be departing runway 19 left, I believe, is our departure. Yes, not through the Shed 1 departure, and Kino transition. Alright, Shed 1, 19 left, Kino transition, 19 left, Shed 1, and insert, and we should get the Kino. This is, so we're going to go fly direct to Kino, which is right here, Shed 1 to Kino. Alright. Insert that here, and then from Kino we're going to fly direct to Rusum or something like that. Okay, so we're going to go to the next one here and insert, and then finally it is the Diamond 5 into San Francisco, runway 28 right. Alright, Diamond 5, so we're going to insert that, and then we're going to go to San Francisco. Arrival is runway 28 right, ILS runway 28 right through the Diamond 5, and I believe it's the Archie transition, but let's just go ahead and check real quick. It is the Archie transition, and we're going to insert that here, and we're pretty much done now. Right, one discontinuity here, which we will clear and insert. And now everything is looking good. All right, let's take a look at our flight plan real quick. And we're going to switch here to plan. And we're going to step through. I think I need to enable temporary positioning here. Okay, so we can step through and make sure the plan looks okay. Go to flight plan. There we go. And all is looking good. All right, we'll switch this back here to ARC, and we are now pretty much ready to enter the fuel data. So we're going to beg your pardon, performance data. So the performance data is something we can get here, here, and 127, and the rest we can get from the iPad here. So we'll go to performance data, and we're going to set our trim position to 1.1 up. Right, so flaps 1 and up 1.1 up. Stick that here. Flex temperature is 57, and we're going to stick that in here. Now our flight plan is ready, so what we're going to do is we are going to start the APU. So master is on, and now we can start the APU, and we're just going to wait for the APU to become available. It's a bit heavy on frames, I must say. I was expecting something a little you know, more in line with the with all the other aircraft where, you know, there was a significant performance increase. But it seems like this aircraft is still kind of heavy on frames. So let's go ahead and grab our altimeter here. Altimeter is 2986. All right, we're going to set the altimeter to 2986, and the altimeter is now set. We're going to set it down here as well. 2986. All right, altimeter is set, and full iris alignment is complete. We can start the APU bleed now, and we can turn off the external power. All right, let's set our altitude here to 36,000 feet. Okay, and now we can turn on our beacon, and we are ready to push back and start our engines. Okay, all is looking good. Let's go ahead and call the pushback truck. Start
Ground
push.
to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
All right, I think we'll just place the aircraft right over here. That works.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
All right, we can dismiss the ground power unit now.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
All right, we can release our parking brake now. Parking brake released.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
And we have now, ladies and gentlemen, been cleared to start our engines. So engine mode selector to start, and we're going to begin with the engine number 2. All right, and we have a good start on the engine number 2. We're going to go ahead and start engine number 1. Okay, parking brake is set. We should have probably pushed back the aircraft in the other direction, but that was my bad. because we actually need to turn now and head over to the runway. Our departure runway is 19 left. Okay, we have a good start on all the engines. Engine mode selector back to normal, and we're going to arm the speed brakes, flaps 1 for departure, and we're going to turn off the APU bleed and master APU. We are good to go. We're going to turn on the runway turn-off lights and taxi lights, and we are now ready to go. We're just going to wait for the clearance from the ground services. Beautiful rendition, really, of Las Vegas, Nevada by FlyTampa, and of course, with a complex scenery and a complex aircraft like the Flight Factor, one can expect the you know, the frames kind of to suffer a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and do the check here. So everything checks okay. Cabin crew, I'm not sure why it doesn't do it, but all right, let's start the strobe lights, landing lights, and nose to takeoff. And we are pretty much ready to go now.
On runway 19 left.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for departure. Runway 19 left, and let's go ahead and bring the power to 50%. Stable. Man flex, SRS, and runway. Rotate. Positive rate of climb. Gear is going up. And flaps are going up. Flying thrust. All right, and at this point we can engage the autopilot. Autopilot engaged. And we are now at 250 knots. The what you see here is the separation between Las Vegas, Nevada, and the beginning of ORBX TrueEarth. So, yeah, I don't have the orthos for the state of Nevada, and therefore you see that cut there. But other than that, the ORBX scenery of California looks absolutely gorgeous. All right, there is a restriction here at 7,000 feet. As you can see here, we need to be at 7,000, then at 9,000, and then there is another restriction at 11,000. And as you can see now, we started climbing again to the next restriction of 900,000. We can now disengage the speed brakes, disarm the speed brake, and everything else is looking good. At about 8,000 feet, we will release the cabin crew. So cabin crew can now start preparing the cabin for the in-flight service. And we're coming up to the second restriction now of 9,000 feet. Can increase this here. I forgot the clock again. And we can turn on the terrain radar. Beautiful scenery of ORBX TrueEarth. And we are past the second restriction point, and now we're going to climb to 11,000 feet, which is the third restriction, and then we're going to be cleared for our cruise altitude of 36,000 feet. Right, we're getting close to 10,000 feet now, so we're going to go ahead and turn off the landing lights. And runway turn off lights, strobes can remain, beacon, and the nav lights can of course remain, and we can now turn off the passenger fasten seatbelt sign. And as you can see now, we are accelerating to about 275 knots, and we're going to the next restriction, which is 11,000 feet. As soon as we clear 11,000, we will be cleared for 36,000, and we should be fine. Really, the ORBX scenery, TrueEarth, California, is just stunning, really. Very well crafted by ORBX. So I'm sure that you guys are wondering what are my plans for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. I have been contemplating all the material and the content that I want to do. And I will probably be creating some exclusive content in the coming days of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, and it will be published on my partner's YouTube channel, Threshold. So stay tuned for that. I will provide you with more information as soon as I have it. Alright, so as you can see now, we have cleared the restriction of 11,000 feet, and now we are cleared for 36,000 feet, as you can see here, and all is looking good now. We are now, ladies and gentlemen, climbing to our final cruise altitude of 36,000 feet, so I'm going to let you guys enjoy the flight, and I will see you as soon as we level off. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just reached our final cruise altitude of 36,000 feet, and if we take a quick look here at, we are approximately 151 nautical miles from the top of descent point. So what we're going to do is we're going to enter all our destination data, and then I will see you guys just 10 nautical miles from the top of descent. So we're going to go to the next phase, and we're going to go to Sim Toolkit Pro, my favorite electronic flight bag for flight simulation. And we are going to go to San Francisco. We're going to take a look here at the weather. The last weather was created at 11:05 Zulu. The winds 290 degrees, 8 knots at 290 degrees. Visibility is 10 kilometers or so. Few clouds at 2,000, broken at actually at 200 and 800 broken. And the temperature is 15 Celsius currently. Altimeter is 3,000. So let's go ahead and enter the information here in the MCDU. Altimeter is 3,000. The temperature is 15 Celsius, 290 degrees at 8 knots is the wind. Transition altitude is 18,000 feet in the United States, and the final speed here, VAP speed, is 138. The decision height is something we can obtain from the from the charts, but we're just going to enter 250 here. If you don't know it, yeah, 250 is always a safe number, so we're just going to stick that here. All right, so everything is looking good. We are at Kino now, cruising at 36,000 feet. As you can see here, this is the top of descent point. The platform altitude at San Francisco, runway 28 left, is 1,800 feet, as you can see here. So we are all looking good now, and we're going to continue our cruise. Let me set this back here to performance, and everything is looking pretty good now. All right, I'll let you guys enjoy the flight, and we'll see you 10 nautical miles before the top of descent mark. Welcome back, folks. We are approximately 6 nautical miles from the top of descent. We're going to go ahead and reset the MCP altitude now to our final platform altitude of 1,800 feet. Okay, let's see here, 1,800 feet. And we are right at the top of descent, about 4 nautical miles. I think that's close enough. So let's go ahead and begin the open descent. And the aircraft should begin descending now to the platform altitude that we've set, which is 1,800 feet. As you can see now, we've begun the descent. Really nice scenery of ORBX, California. Welcome back, folks. We just passed the transition altitude, so we are going to set the altimeter to 3,000. 3,000 is set, and I'm not sure what's going on with the frames here, but we're going to set 3,000 here as well, and 3,000 is set. All right, everything is looking good now for our approach into San Francisco. We are approximately 60 nautical miles from the destination, and we are at 16,600 feet, which is okay. We're doing okay in terms of our altitude. Let's go ahead and engage the landing system. As you can see now here, 63 nautical miles to runway 28 left at San Francisco. All right, let's go ahead and arm the speed brake just so that I don't forget it. And we are about to reach 10,000 feet. So as soon as we reach that altitude, we are going to turn on our landing lights. We are going to set the auto brake to medium, and everything is looking good now for our approach. We are now reaching 10,000 feet. We're going to go ahead and turn on the landing lights. And we will continue to monitor our progress here into San Francisco. Everything is looking good now. The altitude is good, and we are at 250 knots. And we should actually start decelerating at the next waypoint to 230. We are approximately 42 nautical miles now from the runway, and we're looking pretty good. Yeah, we're descending at about 1,400 feet per minute, and there are a few clouds in the vicinity, but all is looking good at the moment. That's the first right turn. We're going to maintain 230 knots until the approach phase is activated. All right, and at this point, we're going to go ahead and click on the approach button. Right, and we're going to turn on the nose light and runway turn-off light and the wing lights.
2,500.
And as you can see now, the localizer is active. And the approach phase will be activated shortly. That's our platform altitude of 1,800 feet. The runway is right ahead of us now, and as you can see, the approach phase has been activated now. We are actually right on the localizer, and the speed is now, you can see now the localizer is active, and we're going to go ahead and say autopilot 2. That's the runway. Runway's in sight. Adjust our view here for our landing. All right, speed check, flaps 1. All right, and speed check, flaps 2. Speed check, flaps 3, and gear is going down. Speed check, flaps 4. There we go. We have the runway in sight now. 1,000 feet, and we are going to disengage the autopilot. And my aircraft make just small corrections here as we come
approaching
to land.
28 right.
We're a bit too low.
500
feet. 400.
100 above. 300. Minimum. 200.
Glide slope.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard. Retard. Retard.
Touchdown. Reversers are out. Manual knots. Manual braking. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to San Francisco. Brakes are hot. That's something we always get with the Flight Factor, so I'm not too worried about it. We're going to turn on the brake fans. All right, let's make a stop here and take a look at our landing.
Clearance GPS 9611.
GPS 9611.
9611, way information Tango. We're going to Louisville. Our PDC was more than 2 hours old. Said to call you.
Roger. Your time is being updated. You still sparking GPS 9611 cleared this departure for a speed transition. Then it's found.
So I hope that you've enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. Until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye for now.